What's going on, guys? Welcome to Daily Driven RC. My name's Tyler, and in this video, we're gonna be taking a look at my little SCX24 build that I've thrown probably way too much money into. But it's been a blast, and I wanna share the build sheet with you guys, go through what I've chose to throw on this little thing, and then we're gonna take it onto our indoor course and see how it performs. But before we do that, since this is the first video on the Daily Driven RC channel, I wanna let you know what you can expect going forward. In the immediate term, we're gonna be focusing on the little 1/24th scale builds, we're gonna be focusing on the 1/18th scale builds, and maybe some 1/10th scale as well. But I'll tell you, I've been in the hobby for about 15 years now, on and off, and this little guy here has totally got me back into it and interested. I don't know, there's something about it that has just kind of reignited my interest in the RC community and in these little builds in general. So I'm super excited to do that. Now, I have been making YouTube videos for quite some time, just in another area. I guess I've been doing builds on kind of full scale stuff over the years. So I'm excited to start this channel and share some of my RC builds with you guys as well. So if that's of interest to you guys, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure you like the video if you like it. I'd love to have you along for the journey. And really, I'm just gonna be here to learn along with you guys and have fun. That is the main goal of this channel. And so far, man, I'm having a blast with this little thing. So without further ado, let's dive into the build and I'll show you what I got on this little truck and then we'll take it for a rip. All right, so got you guys a little bit of a different view here, but you can tell that this doesn't look like the SCX24s off the shelf, right? So the most apparent thing that we're gonna touch on, and really is the foundation of this build, is the Bronco body here, right? This is the Meus Racing MB24 chassis kit for the SCX24. And so I really loved, first off, just the design of this kit and this body shell on here. Obviously, if you're familiar with like RTR and the Fun Haver team there, this thing looks almost identical to the Fun Haver RTR Bronco that they have, just obviously different graphics. So the main kit, right, is made up, the chassis kit, you can see these are carbon fiber rails here, the aluminum kind of posts that make up the chassis. This is all the Meus Racing MB24 kit. And I think on Amazon right now, it's like 35 bucks, maybe 33, something like that. And for the money is like a great bang for the buck. I absolutely recommend it. It went together flawlessly, and it's just been a really nice platform to work with. Now, I'm not gonna keep you waiting. You probably see the big brushless motor sticking out of this thing, and that's where I had to get a little creative with this Bronco body, as the interior no longer would fit in there with the motor after it was mounted. So I had to kind of take out the drivers in there and make a little bit of room, but you do get full lights on this setup too, which is really awesome. But this is the Injora Fat Viper motor. I actually ended up doing their motor, the mount, and the ESC kit, which I believe is their MBL32 G2 setup. And this thing is a little torque monster, I will tell you that. The slow crawl on it is very good. The only thing that I'm having an issue with, I think now, and I think from my research, it's the ESC, is that you can go real slow, but there is a point on the trigger there where it really jumps and it takes off. So it's not a super linear programming here. I'm gonna try to get in and program that to see if I can help correct that. But as it sits right now, man, it is so powerful for what this thing is. And so I'm really enjoying it. The next thing I ended up going with, which I've played around with shocks on this little thing for quite a while. When I first got this SCX24, I had the Jeep, yellow Jeep Wrangler looking one there, and I ended up doing some real long shocks on this thing, had this thing flexed out, and that was super cool, but I had a lot of problems that came along with that. So I ended up going with the Injora 40 millimeter oil-filled shocks here. And honestly, it's been great. These little things, I've taken the springs out. So it sits as low as it possibly can, which is what I've been going for. I'd like to get a little lower here, but it's still looking pretty good. I have the shocks mounted as inward as they possibly can, so that way we can get as low as we possibly can. So as for shocks, that's what we're running in here. I think it's 20 weight in this. It's something I had laying around. So that's what we got for shocks, but bringing it back to the electronics we got in this thing. So we got the Fat Viper in there, which is doing all the work. Love it. As far as a steering servo though, I ended up going with this Injora 11 kilogram servo, which I know is a pretty pricey little thing for these. But I ended up having one of those EMAX servos in here. But unfortunately, as soon as I got all this put together, plugged in that servo and smoked it. So I don't know if that was a user error on my part or something, but I took the opportunity to get kind of a nicer servo in here. And this thing is a little beast. I will give you that, man. It is, I don't think I'd ever need anything stronger than this. So if you're looking for a great servo option, especially with the Injora Fat Viper kind of combo, I do recommend this one for sure. For a receiver in here, I just had a Dumbo RC receiver and transmitter set up here. So that's what we're working with there. Nothing crazy. I would kind of like to see if I could get a smaller receiver for this thing, but it is what it is, and it does fit on the little chassis rails here, the skid plates that Meus Racing provides in their kit. As far as wheels and tires go, right now I'm just running the Injora stamped steel wheels here, which I've had for quite a while, and I'm running their 56 millimeter rock terrain tires. So I think this is like their tread pattern, nothing crazy. But when I first got these things, man, they were super, super sticky, and I loved them. I've had these tires for a little while because this build has been through quite a bit. I actually got this SCX24 like years ago, played with it for a little bit, and then stuck it on the shelf. But over the last few months, it's really ignited me back to start messing with these again. So those are the wheels and tires, nothing too crazy right now. Flipping it around, we got some of the Injora metal links here. I don't believe these are the high clearance. They may be though. It's been a long time these have been on there. I do have only one O-ring in each of these, so we can get a little bit more articulation and flex out of this little guy. That was very useful for when I was running the longer shocks as well, so that was huge. Now while we're under here though, the biggest thing and I think the best like worthwhile modification I threw onto this little truck is the Meus Racing nylon axles. These things give you like 52 degrees. You can see I still got to trim this body out, man. 52 degrees of steering angle on these little axles because they're double jointed in the hub area here. The drive shaft or the shaft is double jointed at the hub, and you can get a ton of steering out of these. So this thing is great. There's brass obviously on the outskirts here. And for the money, I just think they really made this thing perform. Also, the kit comes with the underdrive gearing in the back, which essentially when you install that, it essentially overdrives the front, so it allows the rear end to pull around as you're turning, right? I have not installed that yet, but I definitely got to do that. As you'll see later on the indoor course, it does tend to like to push even though we're at full lock, right? So that's going to be something I think will help out with that portion. But other than that, guys, that is really the build here. As far as the servo goes and the steering kind of is concerned, I think I have a Meus Racing aluminum servo mount on here. I do still have the Injora one because the kit came with that. But yeah, I have the Injora steering servo horn on this as well, and it's been great. The only other thing I'll say is that I picked up some of these Ovonic 400 milliamp batteries, and this battery is still a little big, to be honest. Currently I have it set up with just a little Velcro in the back plate here. It's not a perfect solution by any means, so I still am working on that, but it does tuck down in here and I can connect everything up and it works okay. I do have a little DIY thing coming here. I'll probably cover that in a future video to mount the body down, because unfortunately I had to take out some of the roll cage here that would connect underneath the body to get this thing to lay flat. And Meus Racing on their chassis kit here uses these little notches right here to secure into the body. And unfortunately, it really doesn't secure very well. So I'm gonna come up with a little magnetic mounting solution to that, and I think that'll be good. But yeah, guys, overall, that's the build on the little SCX24. Like I said, so far, I'm loving it, man. These batteries last a long time in this, and I've been having so much fun that I designed my own little indoor obstacle. I won't say it's a full course yet, but that is in the works. So let me take this little thing out for a little drive on our obstacle there. I'll give you a sneak peek, because in future videos, I'm gonna be showing you how I made this indoor course. It's gonna be good fun, and I had a lot of fun making it, at least, so I'm gonna share it with you guys. So let's go take it out on the indoor course and see what it does. And there it is, guys. This is what the little SCX24 is gonna be up against here. So we have this whole thing that I worked up in a couple weeks. I'm gonna have a video coming out on how I made this coming up next on this channel, in case you're interested. But we have 3 different lines that we can choose here. We can go up kind of this route here off to the left-hand side and go all the way up. We have a kind of side hilling section here, which this little guy still needs a little bit of work to make that happen. And then we also have this side here as well. So we're gonna test this little thing out and take it for a run. All right, we're gonna take this line first, and running this little thing on the course will give you kind of a scale size of what it's dealing with here. So you can see we got some texture on the course, so it's gonna find a good amount of grip. The little Fat Viper motor, man, just spinning away. I love the look of that little thing as it's crawling. You can see how the car kind of pushes a little bit yet. And I think that underdrive in the rear is really gonna help it out. Let's see if we can slow it way down with the brushless combo on there. It does great. And it's already to the top. Oh, yeah, still losing that. Or almost lost it there. And it did it. So you can see kind of the scale of this thing. Now let's go back up here. You can see this little guy in action. I think it does good, man. The axles really allow for you to get a ton of steering out of this. I think it's like 52 degrees, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, you can slow it right down, which is awesome. Let's see, you're gonna shift over a little bit. Yeah, there it goes. So I wanted to make this obstacle challenging enough, you know, to challenge these built rigs like this, but also something that's doable so you can have a little bit of fun. I'd be very curious to see how a stock SCX24 does on this, or maybe like a TRX4M since it's bigger. So we might try that in the future. Oh yeah, look at that. Sticking right there, man. Oh, we lost it. We'll reset. Yeah, you can see here's a good example of how the car kind of pushes a little bit, right? So just a little reverse needed here to get down. And we're through. Pretty cool. I can't wait to get more obstacles to run this thing out on, but yeah, I'm loving it so far. Well guys, that is my little SCX24 build. If you guys have any comments, questions, anything like that, feel free to put it in the comments down below. And if you guys are interested in more builds like this, discussing product reviews, and having fun with these little 124 scale, 118 scale crawlers, make sure to subscribe up to the channel. I'd love to have you be a part of it. Anyways, guys, we'll catch you in the next video. You guys have a great day. Bye.